Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of Horses and Biscuits. We're coming to you live from various places around Shropshire, and of course, this is the show where we are normally discussing the TV pilot of Karen, which you guys at Rocking Horse, Gareth over there, is making. But we've got another reason to come and speak to you guys today, which is kind of connected, but it's a beautiful thing that we're going to chat about. And we've got Gareth Thomas from Rocking Horse Media. How are you? Good.
Yo, not bad. Very good. Very good. Got a bit wet earlier. It was raining coming back with Christie. And I've had to come upstairs today. Christie, as you can see, is in the Rocking Horse office. I've had to find a different room, a corner of the building to put myself in to do this.
Are you in a cupboard somewhere? We should put Gareth in the cupboard somewhere. Yeah,
pretty much.
And above Gareth there, we've got Christie Kelly, who's going to be taking part in this great feature that we're going to be speaking about in a minute. And we also have returning to the show, Orla Jones. Izzy herself. How's it going, Orla? You got
Hi. Yeah, good. Feels like a while since I've been with everyone on this, but
I forgot what you look like. I forgot what you look like. You know
How dare you?
And how are you, Christie? You good?
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to ask anything too difficult. Don't you worry.
Okay.
It's just conversation. We've got a couple of comments already. Rocky Huber there saying hi from Manchester, New Hampshire, USA. I met Rocky via the Matt Compton Unleashed show. This is what happens. You make friends from all around the world doing these things. So how's it going,
That's
Rocky?
it.
And Shona Jones, of course.
Hey.
Hi, everyone.
Of course.
He is my favourite supporter of Horses and Biscuits. You know, as you said, so yeah, I love that. So yeah, it's fantastic. Hello, everyone.
How's it going? Welcome to the show. Okay, so what we're talking about today, I'm going to let Gareth explain kind of where this idea came from and how it's transitioned to what it is now. So, Gareth, we did speak about it a couple of weeks ago.
Keep it short and sweet, Gareth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you will ask me, there's three of us here who could do this. Okay. So basically, of course, we cast Orla for this lead role in Karen. And one thing that we've spoken about, I know Alex knows a lot about this as well, is there's as exciting as all of that is, there has always been a part of us which has had a lot of regret that we never got to finish the original, ambitious project we set out to do to raise awareness of autism and anti-bullying way back when. And so I spoke with Orla fairly soon, wasn't it? After you got the part, wasn't that long after, was it? I don't think.
No. I mean, it feels like yonks ago that I got the part, but it was actually only 3 months.
Crazy,
So
mad. Yeah. And I went to Orla and I said, by the way, you won't know anything about this really yet because I haven't really described it properly. And I'm really not doing a great job now either. But would you be up for being one part of a very, very sort of special, complete one-off thing where your character of Izzy, which by this point people are already falling in love with, where Izzy meets Jess, who is the autistic character from the previous project, as a way of kind of like introducing everyone to Izzy Orchard, Orla's character, but also giving Christie's Jess the chance to sign off on her own terms. And so it's a farewell for one, an introduction for the other. It just felt like a really, really special short film as it was meant to be. But as I'm sure we'll come on to discuss, that short film is, as usual, has blown up into something far more than it was meant to be. So yeah, and all in aid of comic relief, which it's important to remember that everything we do, all the Rocking Horse stuff, the Jess stuff from way back when, all of it was inspired by comic relief in the first place. So it's nice to be able to give something back to them after all this time.
It's kind of cool. And I got to say, can you hear me okay? My mic seems to have gone a bit weird. Oh, wait there.
Yeah.
A second.
No, I can hear you.
Okay. So comic relief for you guys watching it abroad that might not know what comic relief is. Comic relief has a huge tradition over here in the UK. I think they do something similar in America. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a charitable fund where a lot of people come together and they make something fun that people can enjoy whilst raising money for charities across the UK as well. So and they usually make a big deal of it. Comic Relief Days, like when I was a kid, was like the best thing ever.
Oh, it was one of the best days at primary school for sure. Yeah.
They'd usually have like fancy dress and you can buy the rubber noses that you can wear on your nose, like a clown's nose. And then you'd have Lenny Henry on TV for like 8 hours doing his thing. And I think it was Comic Relief where I saw one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And that was Rowan Atkinson did Spider Plant Man. It was Spider-Man, and he was doing this
Oh,
trailer.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was Spider-Plant, man. It was just that's the kind of things that they go for. Lots of parodies and fun stuff. So it's good that I mean, this is a great thing to be a part of. I mean, I know people do things all around the country, but you actually got acknowledgement from Comic Relief itself, didn't you?
Yeah, we never expected that. You know, that was, and Luke Allen deserves a fair amount of praise for helping to make those connections happen. Who I'm sure will be in the chat before long, if he isn't already.
Yeah, he already is. He can
Yeah,
wait.
he already is.
Yeah.
Sounds
He
like
can wait.
There he is. But yeah, so we were always going to do this, but to get acknowledgement from them, and that at the moment, we don't know how far that acknowledgement is going to go, but we're still in talks with them, with Comic Relief officially. So, you know, we're ruling nothing out, but it's become a lot bigger than it was ever meant to.
Yeah. And Christie, how does this feel, taking this thing that didn't happen, that you were psyched up to do and just suddenly stopped, and you know, somehow bringing new life into this thing? How does that feel for you?
It feels really nice. Obviously, I didn't think I'd get to play the part again, so it's nice to sort of be able to do that again. Obviously, we all didn't think it was going to be like this big of a thing. It was sort of supposed to be like this little thing that we get together, we do, I say goodbye, and then that was it. And not many people would see it, and you know, but now apparently Comic Relief want to see it, and everyone wants to see it, which is great. It's really nice that people do. We just didn't expect it to be this big, did we?
Adds like a layer of expectation onto it, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
like, this thing's really, really gonna happen now. Okay, let's do this.
There's a bit more pressure, but you know, it'll be fun.
Well, I mean, having something like Comic Relief attached to it means there's more of an audience. There's you know, it's a platform that millions of people will come to, maybe, hopefully. So, you know, well done, Luke, for doing that. Luke is in the chat, of course he is, and he says it feels way weirder than it should be seeing someone else in Gareth's chair.
My chair.
He likes to pay attention to the details, does our Luke Allen. And he also wrote, of course, Comic Relief was co-founded by Richard Curtis.
Curtis. How am I not surprised that he mentioned that?
Yeah. Luke's quite fond of Richard Curtis. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
I never knew that.
Little known fact.
Loves a name drop, doesn't he?
So like I mentioned, usually we're here to talk about Karen, but we're not. We're here today to talk about Izzy versus Jess, which is it sounds like a great idea, because Izzy is it's just such a unique character. I think you'll agree, Orla. And then Jess as well. I mean, like, what's the idea with this thing? What kind of conversations are these going to have? What are they going to get up to? I mean, what can you tell us that isn't going to spoil it, Gareth?
Well, to be honest, these girls have done the read through, so I'll let them answer that one.
Orla?
Okay. Yeah, so Izzy's kind of just she's not terribly special. As we already know, she's kind of like the ditzy receptionist with a heart of gold, and she tries her best for everyone. And Jess is a girl who's a star athlete diagnosed with autism and really struggles with daily bullying. And to escape that, she found sport. And she found she's really good at it. And these two characters, obviously, like, it's just kind of crazy that they've met, and Izzy doesn't quite understand how important it is for people to have a diagnosis for autism and have that discussion and create the support with all the appropriate charities and all the rest of it. And it was quite interesting finding out myself, learning. Every day was a learning day when Gareth was coming at me with ideas for the script. I was like, oh, didn't know that. And so it's really good, and obviously, like, that research will help for when it comes to do Karen later on. So yeah, it's good to have such a platform for Comic Relief to kind of put the message out there for people not getting diagnosed properly, especially girls. Young girls really struggle. They can go undiagnosed for a really long time,
especially at the moment, the way things are. I think we need to explore a bit of self-understanding and you know, try to instill a bit of empathy towards people. I feel when it comes to talking about autism and the difficulties that people have, because you know it's a cliche thing now, and it shouldn't be. Where you get the whole what's wrong with him? You know, well he's you know this is what's happening and why, and don't be so judgmental. Do you know what I mean? Like it happens, yeah. It opens a conversation for that thing, which I'm always welcome. Everybody should welcome that, you know. So that's why I like what's going on with Izzy versus Jess, and it's a healthy conversation to have.
Well, exactly.
And Christie, what are you looking forward to this? Are you looking forward to sort of finding ways to sort of connect the dots with this, having those conversations?
Yeah, so I'm really excited about it actually. And not only is it for Comic Relief, which is obviously a great cause, it's also like raising awareness of autism, which is what we set out to do in the first place. So it's really nice that we get to go back and actually do what we actually were meant to do in the first place. So as much as Comic Relief is like a really good thing, it is really, really nice to know that we are actually like putting autism out there and showing that, you know, girls do have autism and just raising that awareness. I'm really excited.
Good. And now we do have a clip of a past Horses and Biscuits episode. I think it's the first one, wasn't it, Gareth?
It was the very first one.
Well, I'm chatting to Orla and you about ideas and where you have these grand ideas come from, and how it feels when something doesn't work out. And I think this is where Orla finds out where all this came from. So let's have a look at this, and this is how far things have gone.
I think I remember.
And by the way, I look so much younger in this video. I'm really seriously thinking of getting rid of the beard just because of this video. Take a look at this, guys. I put all my love and my joy into this amazing idea, and it doesn't work. You know, it's a huge gamble when you've got a lot of emotion attached to a project. Gareth, has that happened to you before? Have you like put lots of love into something and just gone with the wind? You know?
Oh yeah,
it's horrible.
Definitely,
it really is horrible.
The reason we even know Steph, while she's part of Rocking Us, is this feature film that we were working on for many years. It was a very ambitious project. We got very close a couple of times to pulling it off, and for one reason or another, never quite get it over the line. And it's taken a long time to build back from that. In many ways, on a personal level, professional level, to get people to believe in it again. You know,
I'm really grateful to be a part of this project, and to see where it takes us all. And I didn't know that this was a thing that has come from 4 years of hard work.
Can I mention that?
No, I didn't know. So like to know that there's this.
So there we go. The origins of the.
God.
Orla, I apologise on behalf of like October 2021 me for not letting my new cast member know about the background of the whole thing. So yeah, you found out live on a show, but
I mean, yeah, but like, look where it's gone now. Like,
I know,
it's a bit mad, isn't it?
What is mad is that a cynical person might look at that and think, okay, that was set up months before, but Al will back me up, All will back me up. But what this was never on the cards. Then this is just, like is very often the case. You have a conversation, you forget about it, and then months later you look back on it, you think, whoa, that was kind of a bit of foreshadowing going on there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could scroll back. I mean, like, the group chat is always going with ideas and stuff and plot lines for Karen and whatever else. But, like, I'm pretty sure I could find probably the moment where the Comic Relief short film idea was originally brought to the forefront.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of what's going on with all of this thing, the Rocking Horse universe, I guess you could call it. I think that's what I called it last time anyway.
I like it. Because
there's all these ideas that just keep morphing and evolving, and there's something that's added onto it. There's like, I mean, the Karen auditions are the perfect example of how things have developed, because we've got 2 days full of Karen auditions now, towards the end of the month, which I'm really excited for, and that shows that people are excited about what you're making. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to believe, to be honest, especially the Karen auditions, because like you could be forgiven this month for forgetting about them, because there's so much going on with Izzy versus Jess and that, and all the preparation for that. But you know, one of the biggest characters in this care home drama series they're planning to make. We haven't even cast them, and no one's talking about that. It's like it's not even like, oh yeah, we'll do that. That's good. Like on the day, that weekend, nothing will matter more, and we will attack that with all the respect it deserves. But we're so busy at the minute; it's not even being a discussion point. It's crazy.
I can't wait till you find your Keith. I mean Karen. I really can't wait. All right, guys, how's it going? I've been doing this job for so many years. Where's Alid? Where's he gone? Orla and Christie, we've obviously with the auditions and some of the read-throughs, and you know, you guys have built a chemistry together already. We got some pictures here, which I love, by the way. This is from one of the auditions. I mean, look at you guys, the fun you guys are having.
That was the day they met.
That was
that's
the day we met.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that picture.
I love that too. That's one of my favorites. The audio listeners at home, we're looking at some of the old audition pictures, and there's one of these guys just absolutely cracking up, which I love. And there's one of Orla there just staring into Christie's eyes. And I guess these are from the original feature, right, Gareth? These are from the
from Christie's time. Yeah. Yes.
I love that one as well. That's quite cool. That one you what, mate? What?
Nice. Wow.
Yeah, so are you guys looking forward to working together because you know you've got the chemistry together?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the first day we met, like there was a part of Izzy's line that she just had to kind of improvise talking to someone else, and I thought, oh, you know what, Christie's just sat there. I'll just go over and just say the lines at her, and you know the scene will carry on, whatever. But she started like back and forth, and I was like, what?
That was so much fun.
Yeah, honestly, like not many people like can just pick the ball up and roll with it in that respect, and like it just went. And yeah, we did that for the rest of the day, didn't we?
We made our own little mini scene within.
We did, yeah.
We did. I remember that. Yeah, that was fun, and it's nice to have that connection with. I mean, like from my past experiences with the stuff I'm doing at the prison, which I'm not so much in the moment because my schedule's just bloated. I can't fit anything in. But like there was a while ago, I played a psychopathic butcher, and I had Jill Simkin, who she may watch her. She was my wife, and I was absolutely awful to her. I said some of the worst things, but I trusted her as an actress, and she trusted me. And I could just say these things like, "Oh, she's bloody awful, isn't she? Like, did she talk your ear off? You think I've got to live with that? Got to live with that woman, you know?" And you can just have fun with it when you know and you can trust that person, that partner you work with. It's just a nice thing. We've got a couple more comments as well. Luke says, Gareth assumes he's told us most things when he hasn't.
That is true.
Random but accurate.
Random but accurate. That's from earlier. Luke also says, despite working for Rocking Horse for over 6 months, Izzy versus Jess will be the first time I see Gareth direct anything. So,
it's one way to find out, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where you find out whether you've got the grain, you know, whether you can do this thing.
It's going to be a really awkward 8 years if I haven't after all this time.
And my good friend Jane Pickworth's in the chat. She says, "Yo, what's up?"
Yo.
And hello all. Jane is amazing. I love her.
Hi, Jane.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about now is about continuity. Obviously, like the things you were making before was like a long time ago. The stuff you're going to be making now, Orla, with your first outing as Izzy, I guess. So working with that and then taking all that into Karen and making sure it all sort of meets up, is that a concern? Making sure you get everything right the first time so you can take it to Karen and it all meets up. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Like I think the main thing is like Izzy's personality.
Yes.
You know, obviously throughout everything, you know, she grows as a character, and we see some form of development even just within the pilot episode that we'll be doing. And even within this Izzy versus Jess, you see like a change in her, but it's not so drastic. It's kind of minuscule, kind of food for thought kind of things that are going on in her head. And I think that's just the way she thinks. It's the way she sees things. So looking at the script, some of the things she says, like moving on, I know that probably the same phrases will appear in Karen, just purely because that's just Izzy's makeup, really. So I guess it's less about like continuity about the source material, more of what Izzy takes from that, if you know what I mean. Like, obviously, I read it as Orla, but then if I was to say a line out loud, it would be said as Izzy. Otherwise, I don't quite get, And so, I mean, sometimes I'll go to Gareth and be like, "What do you quite mean by this?" And then he'll like confirm, and then I can go, right, okay. So you want her to be thinking this rather than this, which is what I thought. So it's about communication really between me and Gareth and Luke and NASA, whoever will be writing whatever I'm reading, really.
Yeah. There's a lot of weight to carry on those shoulders of yours, Gareth,
Well, yeah, I was saying to Luke, because we came back from, we were looking at some locations, and I had some backache. And I was saying, it must be all these years of carrying rocking horse. But,
You're looking at locations as well. I've got a picture of you and Luke. Look, there you go. How's that going, looking for locations? All right.
Yeah, I mean, fantastically well. The only that slight downside is we're about one email away from being able to confirm it for definite. So we can't say on the show like we wanted to where it is.
You don't want to jinx it.
No, better not. But if we get where we think we're going to get, which is like 99.5% certain, it's somewhere which Christie will remember. Won't you, Christie?
Yeah.
Without actually saying where it is, do you want to tell them that little story we were talking about before?
I was about to do that. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's somewhere where, if you were following Run for Your Life, I don't know how many people are on here that were, but you will probably know. A long time ago now, we filmed a sort of like a short trailer sort of thing for Run for Your Life, which we took to the Anti-Bullying Alliance in London. We spent about a week filming it and in various different locations, but this was like the main location that we used. And it involved me lying in a bed in the pouring down rain, which was great, Well,
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. I had so much fun. It wasn't cold at all. But but yeah, it was a lot of fun. And that location, it pretty much was like the main one in the trailer. So it does go back some years, but it has got a lot of memories, to be fair. And it is really perfect for what we're doing. So I'm quite excited that we're probably going to film there. Yeah.
Nice.
In my defence, the thing that Christie was filming, it was meant to be part of a dream sequence. So she wakes up in the bed and she's there. So it wasn't just like that random, just put her in the bed in the rain for the fun of it.
There was a reason, was there?
There was a narrative purpose to it all.
We have got a comment in the chat that your mic is a bit quiet, Gareth. Do you want to tell you what? Try taking those headphones off. Let's see what you sound like without the headphones. Just see if that's any better.
I sound like Al.
I know what you sound like now. Give me some audio.
How's that?
Ooh.
Hello.
Gosh,
Hello.
that's loud.
Hello. Am I loud? I can turn it down a little bit.
You're louder than you were before.
Yeah, well, at least people can hear you. And we've got no echo, so that's fine.
That's no good thing, is it, really? But let's be honest.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something, and it's just it's gone. That happens sometimes. It happens an awful lot. It's getting more. By the way, if you guys are wondering why I'm in blips and shit, it's because I was messing around with virtual backgrounds, and I had a brick wall which didn't. That's the only thing that fits at the moment, so that's why I'm in blips and shits. When it comes to putting this together, Gareth, have you got more help now because you've managed to build a team together over this time? Is it easier to make this than it has been with Karen from the beginning?
I would say Karen's is about as easy as Izzy versus Jess in terms of it's the same team. And that's when we knew Karen was possible, because we started to build that team, and we've seen that team grow since then, obviously, since we cast Orla back in October, which everyone remembers, and then Dean soon after that, Ben and Chris, and then obviously Gavin. So that's grown in that sense. But behind the scenes, since the likes of Luke and NASA, long names, all these people have got involved. We started to see Christie's then come back. But to answer your question, the team that we tried to make Run for Your Life, the feature film in the very beginning, the difference is why this is working and why it didn't then is that the team around me is a much stronger team, much more balanced to it. Like before, there was just one or two people doing too much, whereas now, if a job needs doing, it's not necessarily me that does it. That's not me trying to sound lazy. but there is other people who want to see this happen. So they're putting a shift in, and they're taking on jobs. Like if a cinema needs emailing or a location needs contacting, someone else is happy to pick up a phone and do that. It's not just up to me. Oh, Gareth, write a script, edit this, and then phone that person. Other people are prepared to take some of that weight away, and that makes
feels nice. That does. That's a good feeling. Good feeling.
Yeah, and it's not even creatively, like with the scripts and stuff. Honestly, when I do a script now, whether it's for Izzy versus Jess or one of the audition scenes we've got coming up, or the pilot script which is on the way, any of those things, the amount of times I have conversations with Orla, and I get several paragraphs back about what's good and about what needs work, and that's what I'm always encouraging people to send me. I always have done. Luke and NASA sends me the best voice notes. They last forever.
I know. We've all seen that, Gareth. It's amazing. I love it.
But that kind of support, though, in terms of just with the narrative, if, for instance, if I didn't have that and the first draft, what we went with, it wouldn't be the strong end product it is now. The content wouldn't be as good. And honestly, going back to the old days, even though actors aren't expected to be there as script editors, that's not their main job, but it always helps. And I think back then, actors just got handed a script and went with it. I could have honestly said at the start of Act 3, Jess just decides to run away from the bullies and join the circus. I don't think anyone would have questioned it. It was like, yeah, okay, we'll go with that. Whereas now, it just seems like the overall team, everyone wants this to work. So if I really am dropping the ball with a script somewhere and some narrative plot hole is opening up, Orla or Luke or NASA will say, Gareth, what are you doing? And that support I didn't have before. So that's the difference.
I've witnessed this firsthand with things I'm working with at the moment. I've brought on big shout out to Moose Cooper, who's joined us at USUC. He has been absolute revelation bringing him on, because he just rang me up the other day. We were chatting. We were like, whoa, we can do all these cool things. We can go for a day at the beach. We can play tag somewhere. Let's just record us playing tag. It's always things like this enthusiasm. These ideas that he's coming up with, I'm just kind of like, wow, this is. He's editing for me. He's making minimations of things that usually stupid things I've said that we'll release. That I try not to. But yeah, and as well to go back on the whole voice note things. Jane, who's in the chat now, we message each other at least once a week, and I don't type. I'll be like, yo on Facebook Messenger, and she'll send me something back. It's just the way to live, man. Yeah, that's cool that you've managed to sort of work together and get this thing. It's better to have someone that will tell you, this is awful, mate, try harder. And I feel like that's probably going to be the route to your success, Gareth, is the people that can actually correct things rather than going, nah, it sounds great, shows they're listening, right?
Exactly. I said this to I think it was I can't remember who. One person recently sent me a script, because a few people have done that recently, and I gave them the feedback, and they said, oh, I don't often get feedback to this extent. And I said, here's an idea. If someone gives you feedback and says, yeah, it's really good, don't ask them again. Just don't ask them again, because the chances are, for one, they probably haven't even read it, and two, it's so useless as feedback. Even if it is brilliant, at least be specific. What do you like about it? Give something back. And if you don't get that, then just don't bother.
Some people really do appreciate that. Nobody's ever told me that. Oh, that's really good. Luke, there's a couple more comments. My brother's in the chat, Connor Cooper. He says, hey, Alex and co. Hope all is well. How's it going? All right.
How you doing?
And Shona has asked, how long will the comic release be? And I do have the answer for that. Shall I show the video?
Go for it. The moment we found out.
Oh God, yeah.
Here we go. This is a video from the script readout that you guys did on Zoom. Let's just press play.
Well done, everyone. Well done. That was, for a read through, that was brilliant.
Do you want to know, Gareth? We are officially feature length for this short film. We are 51 minutes and 18 seconds.
Jesus. 51 minutes. Yeah, okay.
Brilliant.
Jess Andrews gets her film after all.
Yeah, but there is that. I mean, technically, yeah. That is kind of cute in a way, because after 45 minutes, you are strictly speaking a feature film. So Christie Kelly...
think people would complain in the cinema.
Lost you. I love that he's got the comic relief nose. If you've never seen a comic relief nose before, now you have. 51 minutes is the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
How's
lot.
that gonna be? Yeah, look at Gareth's
Gareth,
face.
remember when you said that it would be like a short 10-minute clip?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
And this has got to be done
Don't
by
worry,
March.
don't worry, Orla. You don't have that much to learn script wise.
yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah, and now look at us. And now look at us. But in my defence, it hasn't really grown any bigger than what I said. I just didn't expect those 4 scenes. Because it is literally 4 scenes, isn't it? It's not like we go all
It's
over the
not.
place.
It's not even. I'd even say that it's 3 scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably is.
If
Yeah,
like if you wanted to at a push.
yeah. It's not that long in terms of the scenes. I mean, all in one location, so it's not as scary as it sounds, but it's definitely become a lot bigger than it was meant to be. But it's not like I sat at home, as you can see from that video. We went into that read through genuinely believing, all of us, this is still a short film. You'd all read the script, didn't you?
Yeah.
You'd all had
Yeah.
the script, and we all felt, yeah, we'll do a read through. This is a short film, definitely, of course it is. Read it,
Well,
like timed it, and they were like, oh my word, this is. But even though it's a lot to do in the space of 8 weeks, the idea that Christie as Jess, after all these years, it's not just her farewell, but by accident, we're going to produce a feature film with Christie playing that role in raising awareness of autism. So that feature film she was promised about autism is going to happen by accident in her final appearance, which is one heck of a story in its own right.
how does that change the dynamic for this thing? Because obviously, like, a short can be short. You got to be short, snappy, get to the point, engross the audience straight from the start. Now you've got a bit of time to play with the 51 minutes thing. Does that feel comfortable for you? Is that something you're comfortable with working with? How does that feel?
To be honest, it was written before we found it out, so it's kind of like happened the wrong way around. Like, we didn't get time to think, oh, we can spread this out, because and I remember talking with Orla in particular, and Nasser, I think it was, about how long it was, and realizing that actually, but to be honest, as long as it is, it's all very sort of intricately structured. So if you took one bit out, another bit wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, we did look after timing it and thinking, oh God, is that actually what we want? We did have a look at the script again, but realistically, like, it works. I mean, there's the kind of the lead up to explain kind of who Jess is. It's not just some random girl with autism. She's an autistic athlete that's bullied every day. Like, that's the story. And you can't just kind of throw people into that. So we kind of looked at taking bits out, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, and it's meant to be. So
yeah, definitely.
Well, that makes it easier if that's what you were going for and that's what feels comfortable. I guess that makes it easier to shoot because you guys know exactly what you're doing. You know, it's natural.
Yeah, that's what's weird. It hasn't changed. Like, since it's become feature length, nothing's changed. We haven't added more in. This is literally, we've read it, it's timed it, and that's just what it is. It's not like we've actually made some effort to make it like that. And Dean deserves Dean Raymond, who's playing Alid. He's the exposition guy. Who sets it all up in this opening scene Orla was just alluding to, because without his bit asking Izzy all these questions about comic relief, who's Jess Andrews, what's this autism film all about, without him, because he's the audience, without him asking those questions, we don't have an introduction.
It wouldn't make sense.
You can't take that out. And equally, you need to bring him at the end for the closure, because beyond that, there's another reveal which we can't talk about. The final scene is something else. Again, altogether crazy, which will definitely be the biggest indicator so far of our long-term plans for Karen with Orla in the team. But yeah, so it is very surreal how it's turned into a feature film pretty much overnight. And in essence, we're going to do in 8 weeks what we couldn't do in 8 years.
Yeah,
but we're going to do it. And it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be amazing. Brilliant.
Luke is in the chat. He says there is a proper, genuine release date we have to conform to. Yet it seems feasible. But he also says the premiere is already booked and other screenings in the process of booking. So
yep.
So there's pressure on there. You got to get it done. And I'd like to bring some cameras and some. What I really want to do is I want to bring a microphone with a H6. And just walk around and be like, as someone's finished recording, shove a microphone in their face. Like, how did that feel? Right? Was that good? Was that bad? You know?
Well,
that would be good.
It's funny you mentioned that, but there is going to be a very special. I won't say exactly what it's all about, but there's a very special panning shot where you want other people involved in Rocking Horse to be involved in over the years, including the current crop and the guys for the future. So there's a cameo in there for you, Al. You can be Keith at last.
Yeah. Oh, we got to do a Keith special. Like, like how you've got the Marvel What If. You got Marvel. Oh my God, there's a portal opened. Let's go for the portal. And you got me sat there with a cigarette going, bloody hell, darling. Look at this mess. Like,
stop it.
Behind the scenes, Alex and Luke says, join my documentary crew, Al.
It's worth mentioning because there's two announcements that Luke's kind of put in the chat and really made it really anticlimactic. But people in the audio won't see that, luckily. But the two big announcements. The first one, as Luke hinted at there, was the Wellington Orbit Cinema in Wellington, believe it or not. They have announced. They haven't announced it, but they've told us it's a done deal, and we can announce it now. Monday, the 21st of March, which is the Monday after the Comic Relief weekend. Is going to be the premiere screening of Rocky North Media's first feature film starring Miss Orla Jones and Miss Christie Kelly. So Christie gets the feature film she was promised 7 years ago, and Orla gets one 9 months before the one she was promised. So you're both doing all right out of that. You get. Orla gets
I was kind of like baffled, and like a moment of kind of shock went through me when Gareth was like, "Yeah, so it's going to be premiered," and I was like, "Sorry, come again." I was like, right, okay. So yeah.
So before the Karen pilot, and there's no question, as exciting as all this is, that Karen pilot is over a lot more time, a lot more weeks. There'll be a lot more timing and preparation that goes into all of that. That's going to be even bigger still when we get there. But for now, the focal point is very much on this Comic Relief special, on Izzy vs Jess. And it will be a real nice run through for the real thing, for that Karen pilot later in the year. And for a lot of people, it will be the second time we've done it by then. So we can say it's our second time having a feature length premiere in Wellington. So that's a decent year, isn't it? It's a decent turnout.
Is there any ideas to enroll it into some Karen when it's finished, when it's done? I know it's going to be a TV pilot. But you see these movie award things for independent films and stuff. Is there any ideas to sort of like maybe see if you can get it onto the show reel for some of them, maybe
the festivals and stuff? Yeah, I mean the reason that Izzy vs Jess works in the same way to a degree. I mean the running time might make it slightly awkward for some festivals, but certainly with the Karen pilot, the idea behind that was obviously. Me and Orla have spoken length about the plans for that series, and we're definitely going to take that to series, whatever happens. But
Jane says, go to Cannes.
Do it. But the reason that the pilot is feature length is that in its own right, it can be submitted as a standalone film for festivals too. So you've got, it's a double hit. Then you carry on, make the series, and that's great. Hopefully get greenlit for that. But then you've also got the option for film festivals as an independent standalone feature film. So, and Izzy vs Jess could be that too.
Yeah, and the whole idea is like thankfully with the Wellington Orbit, like it's small business supporting small business. So it's those connections, like you said earlier, Al, when you were mentioning your friend in the US, like it's all about those people you talk to and the connections and places that you can end up, without trying and without sending that email or asking that question, you'll never get. Like if Luke hadn't have retweeted the post, do you know what I mean? It's all those kind of things that's all happening for us now.
I feel like you need to slow down sometimes. You need to really slow down and sort of look around you. You do because no. Slow down in a way that you're not just concentrating. Oh my God, I got this to do, I got that to do, I got that to do, got auditions here. Sometimes just stop, look who's around you, and just have a conversation with people. You never know where it's going to lead.
Exactly.
And a huge shout out to the Wellington Orbit because they're doing something really cool at the moment for Shropshire. Once a month they are opening up the cafe there for discussions with content creators and movie makers and people that make things. I'm going to be doing a talk there on the 22nd. I don't know if that's even been announced yet, if I'm allowed to say anything, but yeah, I will be there. Wait for, and I'll be like, I'm the biscuit guy. This is what I do. It's my microphone. You know, I'm doing all that thing, but it's a healthy discussion because you've all been part. I guess you've all seen the sort of the noise you see when it comes to podcasters. People sharing links. Look at me. It's all about me. It's not about that, man. It's about sharing advice and learning about who's got what skills and how you can help each other. You know, that's how we also. Jane said, pitch to Channel 4. I guess you're going to throw this everywhere, right? With the Karen thing, you're just going to be like...
anyone who'll take it.
Yeah,
even Channel 5.
Zero, I'm not fussed. But sorry, Luke. But yeah, no. I think Izzy versus Jess definitely has a more limited span in terms of it's the time of comic relief. It's the autism awareness will never go away. Of course, it won't. But I think that's more limited in terms of we're going to make a massive deal out of it now. Then we're just going to drop it online, and it's there for people to see. But then certainly Karen, the feature-length pilot, and then the series we're going to make the following year. We will be putting that anywhere we can, as Orla said. You know, we will put that everywhere we possibly can. And then we're very fortunate, though, as we said before on the show, as we are a production company ourselves, and we've already done one crowdfunder which did reasonably well given the time frame. We're quite comfortable in the fact that we're not relying on the pilot being picked up to go to that first series. You know, we've already said, me and you all, we spoke about it, haven't we? You know, we've said we're gonna do that first series. You know, we've committed to that, and then see where that takes us. A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, this is because you've opened yourself up to things, you know. And we've spoken in depth about how you know, at one point you felt like you were dead in the water, but you took the chance. You came back and you've adjusted things, and look what's happening. You've got to say yes, baby. You've got to say yes, you know. And of course, and exactly. I'm really proud of all of you guys, you know. And from the get go, it's been an absolute pleasure to make friends with you guys and meet you all. And I'm really looking forward to the Karen auditions. And I know we're here to talk about, you know, Izzy versus Jess, but like just to see everyone again and to sort of see how that develops. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all you guys, because I think something really special is happening. I've said it here before. So when it comes to comic relief, Gareth, what are you hoping they do with it? What are they going to be doing with? I guess there's going to be lots of people creating content and noise and stuff. Will this go on the TV? Will this go on their social media? Any idea what you think you might want to do with it?
We don't know what the options will be yet. A bit like what Orla said about how we're going to put this everywhere with the Karen stuff. It's a similar sort of thing. Whatever comic relief are prepared to do, the chances are we're not going to think it's a bad idea. We're going to be up about whatever they're up for. But at the minute we're in talks to them about getting something we might be able to put in our own film, which would just help to sort of, you know, give it that extra edge in terms of showing that, look, we're not just people who randomly decide to make a film and we're just saying comic relief for the sake of it. We genuinely have some kind of connection to them. That's what we would like to get. We haven't got that yet. We're not saying we have, but that's kind of one of the main targets. The fact that the premiere isn't until the following week after comic relief is a little bit of a shame. Just one of those things. In that the big telethon on the Friday night would have already happened, so it's limited what they will know about us before then. But obviously the film would have been shot by then, would have been edited, so we might be able to send it off to someone. Who knows? So yeah, we're ruling nothing out. But if it was no more than what it is now, we've already won. You know, the support we've already got is more than we expected to get. Anything else is a bonus now.
Yeah, I agree. What I've got to ask as well is, obviously Rocking Horse Media is kind of being talked about a lot at the moment with a lot of different people. Have you had people come up to you with new ideas? Is anybody asking you to get involved with anything new? How's that happened, you know, since everybody's talking about Rocking Horse?
Yeah, I've had a few scripts being sent through from various people. Some people we already work with, and others like totally brand new, who we've not seen scripts from before. Even some of our actors in smaller roles for the series, they've sent scripts through. Oh, well, I wrote this thing ages ago, but I didn't know what to do with it. Didn't have access to a production company. Whereas now I know you guys, and I'm going to be working with you with this. Could you help me with that kind of thing? So that's nice. It's nice to find the time to do that. I mean, we're all busy, and they know that. And it's I mean, Al, you'll know you can't always get back to people as quickly as you'd like to, but you know they're on a list, and you do when you can, and it's great to get asked.
I have this thing at the moment where I'm like, I'm going to sit down and do loads of emails, and then I get distracted and forget. I'm terrible at it. And Christie, I've got to ask you as well, because it might not be an easy thing for you, but like this character was like 4 years ago, you know, and you've got to bring it back and you've got to try and nail it for comic relief.
Yeah.
Pressure? Or I mean, are you excited? I mean,
A bit. No. Obviously, I did the part, even though it was years ago, I did it for a long time, which helps things. Because I did it for a long time, it's quite easy to sort of slip back into it. I think if I only did it for a couple of months and then I was told 4 years later I had to do it again, then we'd have a bit of an issue, because I don't think I'd be able to do that. But yeah, I think it'll just, to be honest, when I read the lines, it just sort of starts flowing. And I didn't sort of expect that to happen. I sort of expected it to be a really hard sort of transition back into it. And I was like, oh God, I haven't got enough time to do this. But actually, I think we're going to be all right. I hope we're going to be all right. But yeah, I'm excited.
I think so. Watching during the read through, hearing your, obviously, like, I've never seen you perform, Jess, apart from like old videos and stuff, and it was you could tell that you were just back in it.
Nice. That's lovely.
That's
Support from your fellow cast members. Luke Allen said, thanks for coming to my talk the other week, Al. It was a lovely event. No, Luke, I've got a bone to pick for you, because he did such an amazing speech. Because he opened this thing, he started it with his speech. I've got to follow him now, which means I've got a lot of pressure to make sure I don't suck at it, which I'm sure I won't. I'm not even gonna. I don't. He had like a proper speech and things to do. I'm not even gonna do. I'm just gonna go there and just waffle and be like, yeah, I do a thing, and
best thing.
That's the best improv on the job.
I'm thinking of taking random objects to just to throw out to people and be like, talk about that for a minute. You talk about that for a minute, because that's how I got where I was. You take a pen and you talk about it for a minute and you don't stop. That's literally like the best tool for me. Everybody else at their own. But guys, I wish you the best of luck. Is there anything that I've missed? I know we got the announcement to play. I'm gonna play us out with that, I think. But is there any dates or anything that I've missed, Gareth? Anything you want to tell people about this?
No, obviously we've got the Karen auditions coming up. We've got so much at the moment. It's just trying to keep everything going. But and our next show, of course, is 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today we will be at the Karen auditions, ladies. And I will be doing the show live from the auditions, all being well. So 2 weeks from now we will find out who our Karen is. Yes, and Luke, I'm getting to it. Yes, and Luke is so taken in by the Rocking Horse story and all the Izzy stuff, the Jess stuff, and how we brought this all together for comic relief, that he, off his own back, it will be a Rocking Horse production, but it's his idea, not mine. I'm keen to press for once it's not. He's doing a documentary on the making of Izzy Vs Jess and all the backstory with Christie and with Orla. So you'll get interviewed by him a lot. And it's being called the Accidental Feature Film. So
I didn't know that.
I like it. That's lovely.
So yeah, and there's going to be a featurette of that being screened straight after the film as part of the premiere, as a part of a package thing. So
maybe we can make rival things. Maybe like you'd have The Rock, and what's his name, the little guy?
Oh, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
And they're like doing their opposite like Instagrams of like, hi guys, welcome to the Shoes with Biscuit, and Luke's like, oh, welcome to the Accidental Feature Film. I'm like, get out me shot, man. It's on, Luke. It's on. We're gonna do this. It'll be fun. No, I'm happy to help you out, Luke, with it any way I can. Seriously.
But yeah, other than that, filming for this starts on Friday the 18th, which is literally the day before the Carol auditions. Shout out to Dean Raymond, who's prepared to throw his schedule up in the air and let and give us that day. So we're filming then instead now. Carol auditions that weekend. The following weekend, that's when we get to the nitty gritty. That's when Orla and Christie film their scenes over that weekend block. And then Monday the 21st, it all gets on a screen somewhere. And Rocking Horse will have a feature film under its belt with these guys at the top of the bill.
Bravo. I wish you the best of luck of it. I mean, I'll try and get down for that, because I'm there with you guys for 2 days on the 19th and 20th. I booked it off work. I've got the next 3 weeks off work, so you guys got me at your disposal. So whatever you want to do, I'm there for the 2 days, definitely for the auditions, so I'll be able to sit all the way through them. So if I can come down Friday and do some interviews and stuff, that'd be
absolutely welcome. Do it.
Right, has anybody got anything they want to add? Or have you got any comments you want to close with or anything? that you want to say?
No, just
No, you good?
hitting the ground running. I wish everyone, fellow uni students, like I'm currently in the midst of assessments, never mind all of this. So big up that. But other than that, it's, you know, life goes on, doesn't it?
So you're frazzling your brain whilst trying to learn a script whilst.
Yep. I'm learning at the minute like 3 scripts. It's all good.
Life of an actress.
Is there any danger you're gonna like go on stage and be Izzy by accident and then be someone else with us? Is that a genuine?
No,
fear?
don't worry. It'll be fine. I mean, there might be a slip off of a line or an accent, but it's fine. It's all good.
You knocked me up, Kevin. You pay the maintenance. No, that's the wrong character. Christie, have you got anything to add before we get out of it? Any comments you want to close with?
I don't think so.
No.
No. Watch this space, because obviously it's February now, and all of this stuff we're talking about is going to be done by the 21st of March. So, yeah, we've got a lot of work to do, but.
And before I get on to you, Gareth, I do want to encourage you guys strongly. If you're listening to this for the first time, I mean, there are plenty of Horses and Biscuits episodes you can go and look at. One where I look a bit more younger than I do now. But go and follow Rocking Horse Media on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Everything that's going on here is really exciting. I know it seems like we're blowing this thing out of proportion because we don't actually have anything to show you properly, but there's something special is going to come from this. I can guarantee it. So go and follow Rocking Horse Media on everything you can. Gareth, have you got anything to tell our listeners before we go?
I think you did it for me, to be honest. I think I couldn't have done it any better than that. I mean, I'm just looking forward to getting out of this. Boy. You know what I mean? But no, I think just keep an eye on what's coming up. There's loads of exciting stuff in the next few months. So, and it is Izzy Vs Jess. Whilst it may seem like a separate thing to Karen, if we do this job right, there's a chance for Orla and Dean to really nail that chemistry down. They've got it already, but to improve on it even more while they're doing Izzy Vs Jess. And then they can take that into the summer with the pilot. So there's no question, whilst Izzy Vs Jess is very much 100% raising money for comic relief, it can also go a heck of a long way to prove to people that they should get behind the pilot. It's proof of concept for the pilot too. And so if you want to get involved, whether it's to support Karen, the care home drama, we're about to give you something to show to you that we can produce on this level. So hopefully that'll answer all of your questions.
Nice. Right, we've well run over our normal time, but I want to say we've all got a couple more comments here. Luke says, I suggested teaming up earlier, but I went straight to rivalry instead. Luke, you know I love you. I keep telling you this. I do. Like, and he also says, I'm glad it's a good script, as I'm having to stay at Gareth's to get it made. There you go.
Right, you're all welcome to join us. Fine.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for watching today and for your kind comments. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll go and support everything that's going on here that we've discussed. I do want to also tell you guys about a few things that's going on. Of course, this is we do this in partnership with Rocking Horse Media and the Shrewsbury Biscuit. So please check out our website, which is the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk, and that is made by our good friends at Web Orchard. If you need a website, whether you do e-commerce, whether you have a website, whether you have an event, or a media company, production company that makes movies, go to Web Orchard. They will make the perfect website for you, because ours looks so good. I mean, they make the website, but there's a certain Mr. Whiteley that edits all, but Web Orchard will look after you. And you know what? We'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. We're going to be live from the auditions. Hopefully I can get my camera to work. It keeps you have to look up this camera for me, Gareth, because it keeps switching off. 20 minutes I was doing the streaming and it turned itself off. I'm like, what are you doing? I have to run around and turn it back on. It was a nightmare. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.
Bye.